Hi everyone, Beer Mishdale here. Today we are reviewing Lough Gill's Lost Armada West Coast IPA. Let me show you the can. You can see it, can. And let me read to you the inscription on the side of the can. Lost Armada West Coast IPA. Crack this can open to discover your journey. True to style, this West Coast IPA is light in colour and presents a well-balanced malt presence with emphasis on the American hops in both aroma and flavour. Yeah, I don't know about that. Having reviewed Lough Gill's other beers, I came into this beer really not expecting very much. Not to say that Lough Gill haven't made good beers as far, or that they've made very bad beers. It's just that, with a style like this, West Coast IPA, and like a 5% West Coast IPA, there's no new ground being broken. There's a lot of room for experimentation and room for unique characters. You kind of know what you're getting before you crack open the can. And of course that can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on, which brewery it is. But just based off Lough Gill's beers thus far, the ones I've reviewed, the flagship beers, I was a little apprehensive going into this review. But I've been wrong before. Maybe Lough Gill will prove me wrong. They didn't. Nope, nope, they didn't prove me wrong. I'm going to take this opportunity now to have a little rant about IPAs and freshness. Often, an IPA will be labelled with a best before date of between 6 to 12 months from when the beer is canned. But that's not really a great reflection on when the beer is, best before. And this is because after about 8 weeks, most IPAs aren't worth drinking. And that's because hop flavor ages horrendously. Hops don't age well at all. They lose more or less all of their flavor after about a period of 8 weeks. Usually. Sometimes it can vary from IPA to IPA, but usually about 8 weeks is the cutoff point. And that's not me being snobby. It's just a fact. It's something that anyone could appreciate if you gave them a freshly brewed IPA between that same IPA that's been left to sit for 3 months. Anyone could notice the difference. It's not good. Never age IPA ever. It's just don't. After X amount of weeks, let's say 8, the hop flavors they just fade, and what you're left with is a malty, lightly bitter, lightly citrusy, soupy mess most of the time. It doesn't make for terrible drinking, it just makes for very bland drinking. The beer goes very bland, and you just kind of think of what this beer could be tasting like if I had it a month previous. Also, a lot of the time, even after 8 weeks, a lot of off flavors start to come into the beer, flavors and aromas that really ought not to be there. So that's not good. So yeah, after 8 weeks, IPA, not good. Now, this can doesn't say when it was canned. However, the best before on it is of June next year. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume that this beer was brewed and canned last June. Ergo, it's 4 months old now. It doesn't taste great as a direct consequence of that. Now, you may say that it's unfair to review a beer that I'm assuming is out of date or is, it's gone past its real best before. But as a counter argument to that, what I would say is that I bought this beer directly from Lough Gill. I bought it directly from the brewery. So if they're willing to ship me this beer, they must think that it's a valid representation of the beer. So if they want to send me this beer and they think it's okay, I'm going to review it. And that's that. Of course, it might actually be within that 8 week period. It actually might be fresh, in which case, oh dear. Yeah, I'm giving this beer a lot of benefit of the doubt. And that is reflected in the score, to tell you the truth in advance. A lot of benefit of the doubt. If this beer is fresh, it looked fine. 2-finger white head, good retention, lightly hazy, golden coloured beer, good levels of carbonation in the glass, fine to style. That looked okay. But oh my god, the smell of this beer. It was lightly malty, light bready malt, hint of citrus fruit, and then just seawater, salt water. Gross. It, ew. It smelled super, super duper not fresh. And it was from smelling it that I started to actually, like, I was incensed before I drank the beer. I was just annoyed because I've drank so much not fresh, out of date IPA that's come out of Irish craft breweries. It just annoys me why they think this is acceptable product to be selling on their website. Now, it didn't taste anywhere as near as bad as it smelled. Like I said earlier, out of not fresh IPA, bready malt, light citrus flavor, bland. That's what this beer was. The citrus fruit flavors were actually okay. Pink grapefruit, orange pith, tastes alright. The levels of bitterness in this beer were quite good. I thought they were, actually no, I quite like the levels of bitterness just right. And there was these sweet fruit flavors that lingered on the finish. That was good, but it's still made for bland drinking. And I know this beer could taste better than that. I'm relatively confident that this beer can taste better than that. Mouthfeel wise, light bodied, medium carbonation, reasonably drinkable, lingering bitterness in the back of the tongue, touch oily. Yes. In summary, not awful, not that bad, but just annoying. This beer annoyed me, to be honest, because why would they sell not fresh IPA on their website? Why couldn't they just say, sorry, this beer's out of stock. When we make some fresh lost Armada, we'll sell it to you. It's annoying. I'm feeling a 55 on this beer. Thanks for watching. Comment if you have any opinions down below. Please like the video if you've yet to do so. Please subscribe if you've yet to do so. Cheers.